I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, coming to you from San Francisco with an unboxing of Google's latest product, the Nexus 7 tablet. Let's take a look. A newcomer to the Nexus line of devices. This is the Nexus 7, made by ASUS, and it's a tablet, and it's coming to the Nexus line. So the Nexus line, historically known as kind of that pure stock Android line, finally has a tablet to call its own. Now this is made by ASUS, and to give you a brief rundown of specs, it's packing a 7-inch 1280 by 800 display. It's got a front-facing camera that looks to be 1.2 megapixels. You got 1 gigabyte of RAM, 4,325 milliamp hour battery. Now this is going to come in 8 and 16 gigabyte variants for $199 and $249.99 respectively. Pardon my thing here that I'm using to open this, my collar stay. But that's all I got around here because obviously I'm traveling. I did not bring any knives with me because that wouldn't have been allowed through TSA. So let's take a look here. Come on. I'm using my mad cutting skills, yo. Let's see. This might be the worst unboxing in the history of the world, but you know what? We're going to try and make it work. Actually, you know what? We'll see if we can just open it without. Let's see if this box is... This is going to be a good unboxing. I'm really excited about this. Let's see here. Come on. That's a hard sticker to open. Jeez. They don't play. They don't mess around. ASUS and Google do not play. They assume that these devices are going to be stolen off the shelf, so they use really sharp stickers to put these things in their boxes. So again, run down to the specs. Let's see here. There we go. Never mind. Got it. Got it that time. 57th time is the charm. And then we'll open it up and take a look at what comes inside. Apparently I can't open boxes either. Let's see what we can do here. There we go. Come on. This is surprisingly a pain in the rear end to open. There we go. Nexus 7, finally. And this is a Google I/O specific version. According to what I've been told, it has a white back and it kind of looks like a golf ball on the back. You can see the Nexus tablet here, 7 inches, which, you know, for a lot of people, maybe a nice sweet spot. I know a lot of people that don't care for the 7-inch form factor also. And again, in case I didn't mention it, Android 4.1 over here, Jelly Bean, out of the gate, and it has all those benefits that we talked about in the Galaxy Nexus Android 4.1 walkthrough. It's got the improved search stuff, and it's packing a quad-core NVIDIA Tegra 3 processor with a 12-core GPU. So again, this thing should be relatively quick out of the gate. Like 4,325 milliamp hour battery should be good with a 7-inch tablet. Power it through the day and get you through the day with reading your books, watching your movies without an issue. Looks like you have a power button over here, volume rocker there. You've got a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack there, a micro USB charging port at the bottom, and then up top, absolutely nothing. Again, kind of a golf ball texture on the back with Nexus written back there. Now out of the box, let's see what you get. You get a box. You get a box within a box. That's pretty exciting. And it looks like you get an AC adapter module. You get some warranty stuff. You get quick start guide. You get an AC adapter module. Let's take a look at this AC adapter module actually. So I want to see ASUS/Nexus, and then you get a USB cable as well out of the box. And we'll keep that all down in there, make it look really pretty. At least try to kind of preserve the way it looked when it came out of the box. That never works though. Every time I repackage stuff to send it back to people, like, my packaging jobs are just terrible. So it's powering up right now, Android 4.1, and a relatively thin device. You know, like I said, the 7 inches, for me, I think 8.9 is a little bit more of a sweet spot, but 7 inches, good for reading, probably good for typing on. You can see it starting up right now. And then it's coming in the, this is actually something I meant to tell you in the unboxing, or the earlier part of the unboxing. It's coming in mid-July. Like I said, 8 gigabyte, 16 gigabyte variants. You can pre-order it now and it should ship in a couple of weeks. So it's got a new welcome screen. Select the Wi-Fi. Let's see here. You know what? We're going to have to select... Let's see. We'll try AT&T Wi-Fi and we'll see if we can obtain an IP address without going through the splash screen of signing up, which I doubt is going to happen. Maybe I need to set up... Let's set up a hotspot. Out of the gate, typical Jelly Bean look and feel here. I almost said ice cream sandwich. You heard me say that. YouTube. So widgets over here, kind of same look and feel, but take a look again at the speed because this is something called Project Butter, which they announced or showed off at Google I/O yesterday. And you can see that overall, it's just, with the exception of that, it's pretty fluid in comparison to Ice Cream Sandwich and other previous builds of Android, Gingerbread, Froyo, things like that. So you could got 6 things down here you can customize. So if I don't want Play Store down there, I can move it out. But again, the transition effects, all very smooth. And then when you do something, recent applications probably isn't the best example. Let's say YouTube, for example. You'll notice that the transition effects are a little bit different, and I probably need to set up my Google account, and that's why it's doing that. But Chrome is the default browser, but loading it up, you can just see the transition effects differences, how it kind of comes out of the bottom of the screen, and then we'll do no, we won't sign in right now, but you can see a tab browser look and feel here, very much like Chrome on a desktop. So we'll load up phonedog.com, and you can see the keyboard. Stock Jelly Bean keyboard. I keep wanting to say, every time I say J, it makes me think of gingerbread, and then I want to say ice cream sandwich. I'm just all confused in my sweet desserts today with all of the stuff that's going on with Google. So nice Chrome browser, and then of course 7-inch display here. Transition effects look to be turned off. I'll need to turn those on probably in settings. I already got a system update. We'll install that later because I want to show you this unboxing and take a look at the pinch to zoom capabilities. And again, let's take a look at the system update because that's a notification, and you can see new look for the clock. You've got your settings shortcut. I can lock it if I want to, and then I have the ability to clear out the notifications like that. And now portrait to landscape transitions are working just fine. Nice and smooth across the board. Pinch to zoom, relatively responsive here with little to no lag. And then I've got my typical on-screen buttons here as well. Huge bezel around this device. You can see camera up top, but you got a lot of plastic around the display. Still relatively easy to fit in the hand. I mean, it's obviously a big device because it's a tablet, but in comparison to like an iPad or something with a 10.1-inch display, the Galaxy Tab, something like that, it seems to be pretty easy for something like book reading, for the occasional magazine reading, and you can see how the unlock screen works as well. Volume rocker over here, typical look and feel. And I can come in here and select notification sounds as well. Settings, no real differences here in the way that it looks and feels, but you're going to notice out of the gate, you get Play Magazines and then you get Google Currents as well, which is a nice little kind of news reader thing. I'll show it to you actually. We'll go into Currents and take a look at that, and I'm going to have to add a Google account. So let's do an existing. We'll go ahead and do Heron Baker. Heron Baker. And bear with me, I'm going to put the password in. There we go. Sign into that. And we'll take a look. Yeah, let's back up and restore, because we're going to restore Heron Baker. Heron Baker's hitting the Nexus 7 tablet. So we'll see Currents here, and we'll take a look while it's loading up and doing its restore thing. But you can see Currents and how it looks, and it's really, you know, fluidity. It's all about fluidity, and they've really mastered the pretty fonts thing with Ice Cream Sandwich. And now it's about fluidity, and it's definitely an improvement over stock Ice Cream Sandwich. So we'll come in here, and you can see the dots down here. I can move from page to page pretty easily. But again, a good tablet to read on, a perfect size, or near perfect size in my opinion, for reading, because it's easy to hold with one hand. And even though, you know, typing on a tablet weirds me out, like the way the gestures work, it's a little bit easier on a 7-inch because you can touch your thumbs together and type kind of like you would on the Galaxy Note or a large phone. Now you get into like 8.9 or 10.1 and it becomes very hard to type on. Otherwise, similar folders feel here, and it's giving me all the shortcuts and hints, but this is the meat of it to me. Google Now, really, really cool. What's the weather in San Francisco? And so I can load up and do my search stuff from there. Now again, I have new messages in Heron Baker, so you can see it's individually categorizing those emails, which I really like. You can see, but just a much more robust notification setting system all around. You can see very clear, very easy to use, and you've got all your emails. I've got Heron Baker. I know which account it is. I have a bunch of unread emails, and then from here I can see updates available as well. So much more robust than Ice Cream Sandwich and previous builds. And then I can go into Google Play and take a look at this as well, and you can see magazines are now added. So it's apps, music, magazines, books, and movies. Lots of changes to the tablet. Pretty cool tablet. No back camera, front-facing camera though for Google Plus, Hangouts, and more. Stay tuned. We're going to do much more on this device. We're going to do a full review and have lots of content around the new Nexus 7 tablet. Keep it locked on phonedog.com for continuing coverage. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/phonedog. Hit me up on Twitter as well. Let me know if you have a specific question about this device. You have a question about the browser, for example. You have a question about the way it works. You have a question about the size. You have something to say. I always love to hear from you. phonedog_Aaron on Twitter and on Facebook at facebook.com/phonedogab. Additionally, take a look at our official smartphone rankings. phonedog.com/rankings. Cast your vote for your favorite smartphone and tell us why at phonedog.com/rankings. Stay tuned for more on the Nexus 7 Jelly Bean tablet from Google on phonedog.com. We'll see you next time.